Here, we will examine the chain of events that nearly triggered an all-out war in the Middle East. The assassination of Fuad Shukr, the commander of Hezbollah, who was lured to the 7th floor and hit with a guided weapon. This led Hezbollah to respond with 300 Katyusha rockets, a simple yet effective low-budget weapon built during the Soviet era. This in turn resulted in Israel launching 100 fighter jets to counter these launchers, one of the largest airstrike since 2006. More details all in the video ahead. After the October 7 attack and the Druza football field missile incident, the Israeli spy agency started planning the assassination of Fuad Shukr, a key military commander whose strategic importance made him a high-value target. Let's delve into the details of how this assassination unfolded. Southern Beirut, Lebanon serves as a stronghold for Hezbollah, where Fuad Shukr resided in a fortified 7-story building. This building was not only his home, but also served as a base of operations, with his office strategically located on the 2nd floor, allowing him to oversee and coordinate critical military activities. On the day of the assassination, Fuad Shukr was working in his office, likely engaged in the planning and communication that were vital to Hezbollah's operations. Unbeknownst to him, Israeli intelligence was closely monitoring his movements and communications. According to reports, Israeli intelligence managed to intercept a Hezbollah phone call, which played a crucial role in the assassination plot. The intercepted call was manipulated to deliver a false directive, instructing Fuad Shukr to return to his residence on the top floor of the same building. The urgency of the message was designed to make the commander believe it was a matter of immediate importance. This clever ruse was a deliberate attempt to isolate Fuad Shukr in a specific location, ensuring that the strike would be as effective as possible. The plan succeeded as soon as confirmation was received that the commander had entered his 7th-floor apartment. The final phase of the operation was set into motion. An aircraft, possibly an F-16, was dispatched to carry out the precision strike. Equipped with a laser-guided bomb, similar to the highly advanced Spice weapon, the aircraft locked onto the target. The free-fall guided weapon, traveled with pinpoint accuracy, was released and struck the building with devastating force, causing a massive explosion that obliterated the 7th floor and claimed the life of Fuad Shukr and many civilians living in it. This assassination triggered Israel to launch a preemptive strike against a Hezbollah attack. First, the U.S. deployed carrier strike groups near Lebanon and Israel. These carrier strike groups enabled the U.S. to gather intelligence in the region and alerted Israel to any potential Hezbollah rocket attacks. As a reminder, Hezbollah is the largest non-state actor, is believed to have approximately 150,000 or more rockets and missiles stored in the areas marked in green. In response, Israel launched 100 fighter jets in a preemptive strike, one of the biggest and first major actions since the Israeli-Lebanon War in 2006. The operation involved a combination of jet fuel tankers, around 50 to 60 numbers of F-16 fighter jets, and approximately 20 F-35 stealth fighter jets, capable of penetrating deep into Lebanon to neutralize these launch sites. Let's explore how the F-35 managed to acquire a target at 4:30 in the dark. The F-35 features 2 internal weapons bays, each with 4 weapon stations designed to maintain its stealth profile. The 2 outboard weapon stations can each carry up to 2,500 pounds of ordnance or 1,500 pounds for the American F-35B variant, while the 2 inboard weapon stations are specifically designed for carrying air-to-air missiles. The JGAM, or Joint Direct Attack Munition, Paveway series of bombs, Joint Standoff Weapon, and cluster munitions are examples of air-to-surface weaponry compatible with the outboard stations. Not to forget the $400,000 helmet. Let's take a closer look at its components. This is the helmet-mounted display, which provides the pilot with critical flight information directly projected onto the visors. This is the integrated digital night vision device. The helmet is connected to a data feed that displays imagery from 6 cameras mounted on the F-35 airframe. This imagery moves in sync with the pilot's head. The helmet also provides information about target identity and distance, even recommending which weapon to use. If the pilot sees a target that should be hit by a missile or wants a closer look, all he needs to do is look at the target to lock on and then flip the switch to zoom in. The pilot can effectively see through their own body and the floor of the plane to the terrain below, enabling them to attack even moving targets. Let's take a look at the $1 billion radar paint technology, which is still classified, but here's what we know from aviation experts. It involves the use of radar-absorbing material, also called RAM. RAM is a polymer-based material applied to the surface of stealth military aircraft like the F-22 Raptor and F-35 Lightning II. This reduces the aircraft's radar cross-section, making it more difficult to detect by radar. Before we look from Hezbollah point of view, let's take a look at how to fire an F-16 jet. Let's look at how they fire the missiles and the chain gun. Step 1. Turn on master arm located here. Step 2. Now select on air-to-air mode. Step 3. Select AIM-120 as the required weapon. Step 4. Lock the target. Step 5. Press the release button. Step 6. Aircraft will have to stay on course for around 4 seconds and wait until the missile goes pitbull. But lately, NATO brevity code no longer requires its operator to maintain a radar track. Step 7. You can fire this gun or camera laser on this stick. Squeezing this trigger opens fire to the M61 Vulcan, which bursts out at a high rate, typically 6,000 rounds per minute with a range of 600 meters or 2,000 feet. The Hezbollah military wing was taken by surprise at around 4:30 in the morning when the Israeli preemptive strike began. Despite being caught off guard, Hezbollah still managed to launch 300 Katyusha rockets that can travel 24 miles inside Israeli territory and 20 units of one-way drones from southern Lebanon at approximately 5 a.m. in the morning. These attacks were carried out from various locations across the region. According to Hezbollah, their strikes targeted 11 Israeli military installations, including the Meron base and 4 sites within the occupied Golan Heights. This rapid response by Hezbollah highlights their preparedness and ability to retaliate quickly, even under unexpected circumstances. Around a couple hundred Katyusha rockets were fired. These $300 rockets are used by Hezbollah, while the IDS Iron Dome missiles cost anywhere from $20,000 to $100,000 each. Hezbollah's rockets are tried and tested, having been developed during the Soviet era. The design is relatively simple, consisting of racks of parallel rails on which the rockets are mounted, with a folding frame to raise the rails to the launch position. Each truck had 14 to 48 launchers. The M13 rocket of the Bm13 system was 2 feet 7 inches long, 13.2 centimeters in diameter, and weighed 93 pounds, which is around 42 kilograms. Let's take a look inside. At the front is the fuse, followed by the detonator. Just behind them is the explosive, which weighs around 11 pounds or 4.9 kilograms. That was the warhead section. Now we also have these rail pivots at the back and front of the rocket, allowing it for a smooth launch process. Just below is the explosive cartridge, which assists in detonating the bomb. Finally, at the back is the solid engine fuel, which helps launch the missile to a range of around 20 to 40 kilometers, or approximately 24 miles. These chambers are arranged in this manner to allow for effective fuel exhaustion. Lastly, we have the base plug at the bottom. And finally, we have the stabilizers, which help keep the missile on a straight trajectory. We also make original engineering content, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell for more videos.